Good morning. So happy. I feel so much joy in being here with you today. I feel so much joy because I know that we create our own reality. No matter what the world looks like, your specific experience of it is about you and your own relationship to your emotions and the way that you frame that reality. So let's ring the bell. Here we go. Let's take a deep breath in. Big sigh. And just for a moment, for a split second, be still. So today is day 5 of the 40 days. It's exciting. You know, we are building to a peak. It's important to understand that change is the easiest thing in the world to accomplish. You are changing all the time. It's also important to understand that even in the midst of all that change, you are never changed at all. The only things that change are the things that are temporary, right? But the things that do not change are the things that are permanent. So anything that is temporary is only with you for a short while. And because of this fact, it's important for us to see the importance of language. We want to understand that language is what puts us in contact with that reality and shapes what it means to be in this vulnerable experience of living. So, magical incantations, that's what words are. Magical incantations. The great writer Dorothea Brand talked about in her book, Wake Up and Live. In her book, she talked about the will to fail. That we have this will to fail. Why? Why? What is this will to fail about? What is this burning desire to experience our own demise about? The will to fail is about you identifying with something that is not really you. So you're invested in that caricature, but you're not really invested in yourself. You don't know yourself. You know, don't you find it interesting how often people need to tell you about their political beliefs? Like someone who's already told you like 500 times what their political beliefs are. Why? Why do you have people going everywhere they go and talking about their political beliefs? Are they talking to you or to themselves? We want to understand that we cannot stay the same. What we are doing is like sitting on a beach and carving out our name in the sand. And the water keeps rushing up and out, and we have to keep carving it in order for it to stay there. But if we stop, pretty quickly, it will go away. This is true of everything. What a person is doing is not trying to influence you. They are trying to make sure they stay within the guardrails. So I want to talk about language today. Language is one of the most effective ways of firewalling your consciousness. Language is an amazing tool. It directs your attention and helps to stimulate your emotion. So language is an incredibly powerful tool, and we want to take a look at some of that. We want to just take a look at what some of these words actually mean in real life. So let's go with resilience. We've talked about that. Resilience. To do again. Zilliance, to notice excellence that other people miss. So in order to be resilient, in order to truly be resilient, you have to notice things that other people miss. Right? And you can only do that if you're present. The great teacher Gurdjieff said that we are robots. And so what I'm saying is that at a certain point of our life, we were conditioned to be put on the trajectory that we are currently on. And in that, we began to then condition and program ourselves. So, another word, again, words are tools. They are not your friends, but it's very helpful to understand the underpinnings of them. Respect, to look again, to do again, and spectacle, the root meaning to look again, to look with fresh eyes, to see and not project your image that you are imprinting on reality on what you see, trying to shape it yourself. Enchanted. I love these words like that. Enchanted, glamour, all the, let's see, do I have an enthralling? Yeah, enthralling. These are amazing words. Why do we use these words? To be enchanted originally meant that someone put a spell on you. You were enchanted. Okay, glamour means the same thing. A glamour is a spell. So when someone is glamorous, according to what the actual word means, they suck your attention and you can't take it off of them. So this is what's going on in our lives. Again, the word samsara from both Hinduism and Buddhism means movement that catches your eye, movement that you can't tear your vision away from. However, the point is, if you do that, then you will step into the will to fail. So we really want to understand these words. Repent. I love this stuff. Repent, sin. Repenting it's such a charged word. When someone, I don't know about you, but if someone comes up to me and yells, repent, I feel charged. But what does the word actually mean? To repent meant to take your animals and put them within a safe space. So to repent meant to be put in a safe place. Sin originally meant an arrow, an archer missing the mark. This is what it meant to sin. So these things are incredibly important for us to understand. Addiction. Addiction was originally about, if you look at some of the early definitions of addiction, it originally, one of the original definitions was religious zealotry. Okay, a zealot, a religious zealot. A religious zealot would be considered to be addicted. Addiction also relates to the ancient Roman ideas. You were addicted if you were conscripted into the army, or if you were enslaved, or if you were thrown into prison. You were addicted. So what we see it happening with people is a massive and burning addiction. We really want to understand that it's so vitally important for you to listen to what you say, because you are programming yourself. What you say with intensity becomes reality. There's so many, we could just keep going on and on and on. Let's just hit just a couple more. Outraged. Outrage. Well, outraged, it means you are raging out there. You're projecting your rage. Okay? Now, what is the word rage itself is about? Rage is an out of control fire. That's what it means. So when you are outraged, it means you are projecting in an out of control fashion. You're so involved with what you feel that you are now filled with rage. What do we think of with rage? Well, my experience with rage is mob violence. There's no one really in charge of the mob. There's a certain point where the mob becomes like a wild and insane animal. This is what outrage is about. This is the ultimate culmination of outrage. Now, I'm not saying that we should not be extremely committed to shifting this reality, but understand that if you try to shift this reality by going into another person's reality and living according to those rules, you are not going to shift your reality. If the person that you're dealing with is more committed to their beliefs than you are to yours, you will shift to theirs. If you see two people fighting on the corner, they live in the same reality, the reality of us versus them. So, I want to talk about one more, and then let's just connect with just a bit of practice for today. So, one more element I would like to describe. That is joy. We always talk about my values, and I think it's really important to connect with your values. You can use words to be taking you and focusing you in the direction that are actually in relationship to your own values. When you are projecting rage and it's in opposition to your own real true values, you will eventually lose your values. So joy is an important one right now. The great writer Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, said that the people who were able to make it through these horrific concentration camps were the people who found a positive meaning. This is the key. You have to get inspired. You have to get inspired. Now, gradually building the 40 days, and I'm going to ask you to do one last thing with me today. It's called the 2 minutes of silence. So for 2 minutes, I'm asking you to pay attention as fully and as carefully as you can. There is nothing too small for you to pay attention to. You can do it with your eyes either closed or open. For 2 minutes, pay attention to all that you can. Notice every detail. Don't get caught on any one thing. This is a very, very powerful technique. And you want to notice things. You're observing yourself. Your primary role is not the actor in this situation, it is the audience. You are in observation of yourself for those 2 minutes, and everything is happening. If you have an itch, scratch it. Make sure that you know that your own emotions are part of the 2 minutes. Now, the mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to activate this 2-minute practice, 2 minutes of silence, anywhere that you are. I suggest you not do it while you're driving if you have your eyes closed, right? Do it anywhere that you are. This is your time. Make use of it. Secondly, the mission, should you choose to accept it today, is to truly be aware of the words that you speak. Would you be willing to let a gun owner use their weapon the way you use your judgment? I would suggest that would not be proper gun maintenance, although I've never had a gun, but I would think that would be true. So today, let's get it together, man. Let's make a difference today, because you create your own world. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining my or I shouldn't say mine, this YouTube channel, Touching the Edge. And also, please check out my website, DrakePoe.com. Every day during this 40-day span, I'm putting up a framing in the morning, and they will change, just like everything changes during that 40 days. We get better at it as we go along. I will get better at this as I go along. Okay? So things will change, but be sure that you are present so that you can find the right answers. So I'm going to ring the bell, as always. By the way, shorter today. Many people told me they wanted to be shorter, so I'm going shorter. You know, I have so much that I want to give, because I am aware that life is so short, and I want to do what I can to help ground and give people the realization that even in a very, very challenging reality, you can live in joy. And for this last element of our session today, I would ask you to take a nice deep breath in. And another one. If it feels right, bring your hands up in prayer position. I bow to you, because we are part of the same family. Namaste.